When you want to make a change, there's one thing that you need to have in place in order to have the change stick and your whole reality to shift. And if you don't do this and you don't have this, it actually doesn't work. It's Tamerlee Rose. I'm the founder of the Beyond Human Method. I've been studying change, people, humanity, and coaching people for like 15 years. And what I notice is when people are bumping up against the one thing they want to change, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be health and well-being. It could be your relationship with a significant other. It could be calling in a great relationship with a significant other. It could be business success. It could be new money. Whatever it is, the biggest issue I see is that people aren't changing the framework. Probably heard the saying, or maybe you haven't, that you can't solve a problem in the same energy you created the problem. So if there's a problem and it's persisting and what you resist persists, you've probably heard that too, that you can't like find a solution in the same energy that the problem was created. But that's what most of us are doing. And so the framework is like the context, it's the paradigm, it's the fishbowl. Sometimes that's how I describe it to my clients. Is like you're swimming around with these thoughts and these feelings and these belief systems, and you're taking these actions all consistent with your viewpoint of the reality. And so that's your paradigm, that's your fishbowl, that's your like perception. We could even say it's your rose-colored glasses. Literally pick any of the analogies. So you're trying to make a change, but you're still in the same fishbowl. You still have the same belief systems. You still have the same energy. Maybe you're still having some of the same thoughts, some of the same actions. Maybe you're only changing one or two of those things, but not the whole thing. That's where we get stuck. Let me give you an example. I was thinking about this. I've been thinking about this for a while. Is like feminism, while it was a great movement, hasn't had and produced the results that I think women were looking for. I have the opportunity where I can own a house. I've owned multiple. I can have my own bank account. It's growing. I can choose to be married or not married. I'm divorced. I can have a job and not get fired for being pregnant. Like all of those rights actually didn't come to fruition until about 1974, which is wild to think about. But with those rights, what also came was the old traditional framework that was still in place, which meant, sure, we could have all those rights, but we still had to tend to everything we were already tending to. And this is one of the reasons that like feminism hasn't worked in this patriarchal framework. Inside of the framework, I'm just going to call it a toxic framework, because then women get strung out doing it all, having the mental load, caring for the children, caring for the house, caring for the spouse, thinking ahead. And so women are literally like opting out of relationships and like living alone more. And like, this is where we're seeing a lot of stuff in our relationships between male-female dynamics that are really coming to a head right now. It's because the framework didn't get changed. We didn't have men come to the table and like question their roles or take on more different responsibilities or train them in how to be with partners who are choosing new things. We just had women choose new things on top of all of their old responsibilities. So unless we change the framework, the new change can't really thrive and exist. But this is like one contextual and like bigger example that you could apply to your personal life. So if you look and you're like, well, I want to make changes to my habits and I want to go on a diet and I want to work out. Like, you know, most people know, like, in order to lose weight, you would like work out and eat less or whatever. But what you also have to deal with is your belief systems about your body, and you have to deal with how you view your body and all of our toxic programming that has us like resist our body or shame our body or guilt ourselves because of how we look. And until you change that, then you don't have an overall more healthy structure. So anyways, I wanted to bring that to the forefront, which is, you know, we try to make changes inside of the already system instead of getting a new system. And that new system is actually where we thrive. That new system is where the changes stick in a like longer period of time or forever. And that's where I find most of my success around everything that I'm out to accomplish is I change the framework. I change my perspective, my beliefs, my thoughts, my feelings, and my actions all inside of that. And until you get like really facile at that, then the change doesn't stick. So it's actually not your problems. not your problem. It's not your fault if you're trying to do things, but you haven't changed the framework. It's not your fault as to like why that change isn't happening quicker or sticking faster or like sticking in a long, like has longevity. That's the word I was looking for.